So today I'm going to talk about boys to men and where a lot of men fail because of the responsibilities and the steps they don't take. All right, so let's get to it. So boys to men. Number one, as I just mentioned right now, take responsibility. So what's one of the things that you want to take responsibility of, right? One, your sleep pattern. Okay? This is very important. Okay? The time you go to bed is more important than the time you wake up. And that's going to make more sense as you go along the way. Because a lot of times we always have a time to wake up, but we never have a right fit of time to go to bed. And that's what actually sets the day, sets the tone. Okay? Number two, okay, is working out. Okay? A lot of us haven't even started. And I think we're March 3rd, March 2nd, or something like that. A lot of you guys haven't even started yet. Okay? Haven't even kept that promise you said you were going to keep to yourself. All right? So that's something that you have to work on. And I think it's very important. Responsibility of your money flow. Okay? So this is very super, obviously we all know how important that is. But I notice I started with the sleep pattern. Okay? And so that's where I want to keep it there right now for a minute, because through your sleep pattern is where you're gonna have the energy to work out, you're gonna have the energy to manage your money, and of course, family. We always talked about that, and we always talk about faith. That goes first, right? But I just wanted to focus on this right now, because a lot of times, most men that I know go to bed till like midnight, right? 11 o'clock at night. They wake up lethargic. They don't want to do nothing. They can't even do 10 push-ups, all right? The next one is structure. Again, starting with the sleep pattern. What is your structure of the day? I know exactly where I'm going to be at, what time I finish something, what time I'm going to end something. If something goes over, I got to stop it because I know that I got to be somewhere else. So this is very important. Your time management. How are you managing your time? What is your structure? Okay, what is your setup on that? I think that's super important. Most people don't even focus on that. Okay, that's why throughout the day you don't know what's going on, or I forgot how to do this and I forgot how to do that. Why? Because you give yourself too much load. Pause on that. Too much load. Okay, and you have to know what you can take. Okay, again, pause on that load. Self-control. This is something that a lot of you guys have to work on. All right. Why? Because you got self-control on, your porn. Okay? A lot of you guys are still addicted to that. You got self-control on your time management. Again, it goes back to your sleep pattern. Okay? Time management. What is it that you're doing to capture your day? Right? Are you learning through that time? What are you learning? Right? What are you learning throughout the day? Are you just, because this is the thing, and I don't like to use this word, hate, but I hate when I speak to somebody, right? And they're saying, well, it's just another day. Oh, it's just Wednesday, it's just Tuesday. I want you to think about that, what you're saying to you. That's like a slap in the face to the Most High or whichever God you believe in. Because you woke up that day. It's not just Monday. It's not just Tuesday. It's not just Wednesday. Okay? It is a blessing that you woke up today. It is amazing that you woke up today. I know that some of you might think, oh, well, I have pain. You don't have the pain that I do. Well, we all have pain. We all have pain. Some of us have physical pain. Some of us have emotional pain. Some of us have spiritual pain. Okay? And some of us have I guess you want to call it monetary pain. But we all deal with pain. But what is your self-control on that? Who are you trusting? Right? If you're listening to my scriptures, who are you trusting? My self-control is through the Most High in Christ. Okay? Now again, guys, I'm doing this because these are the things that I've had to learn to flow and to overcome. Right? Now here's the thing. Leadership. Let's get to the root of it. How are you leading? Are you leading from the front? Are you leading from the middle? Are you leading from the back? All of us have different forms of leadership. Like when you look at a wolf pack, Sometimes the strongest one is in the back because he's protective. So you have to find out what type of leader you are. Are you a leader that leads from the front? Are you a leader that is in the middle? Are you a leader that's in the back? What type of leader are you? Once you figure out what kind of leader you are, that's going to make your life a lot easier, because then it goes back to this. See, everything is interconnected, guys. Everything is interconnected. Leadership, self-control, structure, and responsibility. Right? That's why I'll leave with this word right here. Okay? This is something that I learned throughout my studies. Some people might say it comes from the Muslims. Some people might say it comes from the nations of gods and earth. You know, but for me, this is what I learned through hip hop. Okay? Know the ledge. Okay? Know the ledge. What does that mean? It's a square. What is your square? Are you standing on your square? Are you here? Right? Meaning that no distraction here, no distractions here, no distractions here, no distractions here. Just straight focus. Are you focusing on these things? If you focus on these things every single day, then you will lead. Boy, and now you became a man. Have a great day, everybody. Most high Christ be with you all. Peace.